Hey, welcome back to 7 Minute Stories, and we have a double feature today, which we have Alexis and Logan Whitlow.
So,
Hello.
It's like, way to go, guys.
I feel like we're just on camera, not just podcast. Sorry.
Podcast.
Yes.
Podcast mode. All right, so what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk early marriage, what God's doing in your life.
That's the plan.
Excellent. You guys are so chatty anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That's us.
So tell me a little bit about how long you guys been married now.
We've been married for 8 months now. We got married May 30th of 2021.
It is January 18th, 2022.
And 8 months of marital bliss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is the house finished yet?
We bought another one.
You bought a second house?
Yes. It is almost started.
Is it actually like a finished house, or is it another fixer-upper?
I'll show you pictures.
It was finished.
And then he had to tear it up?
Yeah.
Excellent. I love
Removed
it.
some walls, made it exciting.
Yes.
An open concept?
It is. We took out the walls. And
When are you guys getting your own HGTV channel?
That's what I'm saying. We should get paid for this.
I know, like you have your own clothing, essentially. Like, I wouldn't say clothing line. Can we say clothing line?
I would suppose that would mean that I made it. But a
Lifestyle brand.
boutique.
You have your own boutique.
Yes.
Boutique.
Yes.
And then,
Same.
you're pretty handy. So I think that's a show.
Right.
hit us up anytime.
All right.
HGTV.
Well,
I'm sure HGTV will watch this.
I'll send it to him. So what have you guys been learning, like your first 8 months of marriage? What was the thing that nobody told you that we should have told you? Like, get the king size bed?
It wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered. Is she like sleep sideways in the bed and headbutt you all night?
Yes.
That's so not even true. It's just cold on my side.
That's
Okay.
usually the advice that I give people. I'm like, just go ahead and spring for the king size bed, because that is probably the worst adjustment, is figuring out how to sleep next to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't sleep.
Yeah, so when you first asked us this after we got married, my answer was how creepy it would be with our parents, which, sorry if you guys are watching. But it was weird, just like, now we don't live at home and we're married and this is actually happening. This isn't playing pretend. This isn't like preparing. Like, we're actually married now.
No one's going to make dinner but us.
Oh, yeah.
That's the worst.
The collective sigh there.
Yeah.
We're too busy to make dinner.
You just ordering in a lot. Come on, man. Cook her dinner.
I don't have time to.
So it's the adjustment of sharing a bed. What else? What's weird? As she motions to you to stick your head in the guillotine.
I suppose the weirdest thing is the difference in opinions about what happens with the house. I can live out of a laundry basket. That's fine by me. That is not fine.
No.
So that's adjustments. But I mean, like, we were dating for 4 years.
4 years.
So it's like, only difference really is that we don't drive to each other's houses.
Mm.
So like, that was we just knew each other so well. It was just like rolling into is just the next step.
So it's the roommate adjustment, a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what's been, and this might be a weird setup question, do you think it's changed like your spiritual lives at all to actually be married? It's gotten better? Is it harder to kind of stay up with your devotions? No.
I feel like it's been easier for a spiritual life because you have someone you're constantly talking to. And right when we started, like, got married and then got back, we started our life group. So it was like we just jumped straight into it. So we kind of, I don't know, it's always given us something to talk about spiritually. And I don't know, I've grown more in the past 8 months than I ever have.
I think it's just being in Alexis's presence that has triggered that growth.
100%.
Yes, infinite wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Alexis? What's that growth like for the last 8 months?
I feel like it's kind of difficult in some aspects because we are so busy and you can really fill all your time, when you have a house and things to do. It can become really easy to just do all those things because there's always laundry, there's always dishes, there's always food to make. And so in that aspect, I'd say it's harder, but it's good to have someone that does keep you accountable. So when we see each other doing things, it like encourages the other.
That's good. I think that was a really weird adjustment, and Kirsten and I have talked about that before, where it's like I had this perception going into marriage that it's like we will lay in our bed in the evening and break out our devotional book and write down the answers and share our diaries together. Like, what is that really like in your marriage to share faith?
Either I'm listening to a podcast, so Alexis can't watch a show, or she's listening to a podcast and I can't watch a show, so we're forced to do that.
Yeah, that's about it, what we do together. But other than that, we do separate. But we discuss podcasts with each other.
So it's like, hey, you got to listen to this podcast, or you just kind of recap it for each other and say, there's an interesting idea here.
Yeah, I usually question him. I want him to answer everything perfectly so I
What
can
did he
understand
say?
it.
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand this, so please explain it perfectly.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, like, as the man, I guess.
You guess.
I cannot wait to hear what comes next.
I don't know. I felt more responsibility to
Yes.
be deeper in my spiritual journey so that I could be not necessarily in charge, but have those answers, because I'm supposed to be leading in faith. So I have to actually do it. So I felt more responsibility, which has driven me to be more spiritual and spend more time with God and make sure I have those answers down.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, say that louder for the men who are listening, who are, in there, because that is, it's our responsibility to drive that train. So I'm glad you feel that guilt and shame, that condom. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you feel that responsibility.
Well, if I didn't do it, it would be guilt and shame, because I would not have the answers and I would have to go and do that. So there's no option here.
Yeah. What have you guys been listening to? What's really like, when you're like, what's driving that, asking questions, all that kind of stuff?
Right now we're listening to Ken Fish in our life group. We were just talking about fasting. And I think
then you wouldn't have to make dinner.
I know, we were actually just discussing that. Like, we could save so much money and time if we just fasted. Ken Fish fasts 2 times a week. Think about, oh my gosh.
104 days a year.
That's a lot of takeout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I love podcasts. So listen to Ken Fish from the start to the beginning of all of his stuff. We'll have some Derek Prince, Andrew Womack, that kind of fun stuff. Just whatever is good.
Whatever's tickling your fancy at the moment. That's
or
good.
Life group's fancy.
Yeah, keeping up with your life group
Mike.
homework. That's good. It's good to have people in your life that are challenging you. It's good to have those relationships. So we'll close with this. Give me one more thing. What was the thing that's happening in marriage that you were like, nobody told me about this?
It's better than what people make it seem like.
You actually enjoying your marriage. That's fantastic.
Yeah. People make it seem terrible. It's not.
And people who say that we're just saying that and we'll just wait a year.
I'm not strangling
They're
him
lying.
right now.
I think they're lying too. I think marriage is what you make it. And so if you work at it, you'll have a good marriage. Just get on the same page and be honest and humble, and it'll work out.
Very nice. I'm going to leave it with that because that was good advice. Hey, thanks guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.